Okay, so reduce food, increase non-food.
Yeah, that's
great fucking advice. Great fucking advice. I think this guy's food pyramid is absolutely fucked. Hello guys, we are live today for another meaty and potentially nasty, spoilt, rotten, evil, carnivore-centric, meathead-focused critique of Bryan Johnson. Yes, it's Bryan Johnson, the absolute world pioneer in longevity and how to waste $16 per day. Excellent. So we're going to see what he has to say for himself. In the meanwhile, I'm going to just get something on the screen. I'm going to present that bitch. And here we have it.
Years ago, I sold my company Braintree Venmo for $800 million. I've been spending those millions trying to reduce my speed of aging, and I just achieved a personal best, 0.64. That roughly means that for every 12 months that pass, I only age for 7.6 months. Now, an important part of this is my diet. My team and I have gone through a methodical process over the years where we've built my diet much like I built software at Braintree Venmo. When you build software, you build version 1 and then moves to version 2 and version 3. Every version gets a little better because you remove the bad stuff and you add more good stuff. I've done the same thing with my diet. We've gone through all the scientific evidence. We've combed through all the best studies. We've identified what the clinically relevant.
When was this video recorded? When did this video?
Just about a year ago.
Because I'm noticing he looks, because I think we reacted, or at least I reacted to one or two of his videos like about a year ago. His appearance looks different. Like he looks more AI generated, like his skin, just his looks. And I don't like commenting on people's looks, but he's all about aging and skincare and all that. But I don't know, his face looks like so fake now. It looks like something generated by AI compared to what it look like.
I think with the volume of content he's putting out now, he's probably having less time to worry and faff about having perfect makeup and, you know, different edits and little tricks you can do. I mean, you can take pretty much any high-end Netflix quality 6K, you know, camera and film it on someone and make them look about 20% better. That's not difficult to do at all. So when you see people in real life, guys, when you're watching this, they look oftentimes much more different to what you see when you see them in person.
Well,
yeah, I certainly agree.
Side-by-side comparison, though, like from where he started to the way he looks now. So here is hold on. I'm taking over. Okay. This is crazy. That is what he looked like when he sold his company. Natural looking, right? Like, look at his face.
Zoom in a little bit. Oh yeah. Yeah, it was quite natural there, like a real bloke, like a bloke in his 40s, yeah.
Yeah, and then you see what he looks like in the video, and he looks like plasticky. Like his face is like drastically different than his natural look. That's the first thing I noticed when he started talking, because it's such a drastic difference.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we'll get back to the video now.
The doses, we've put that into a program where every calorie has to fight for its life.
Round 1. Fight!
I then ingest it for a while.
He made quite a big point there. I want to raise it because I know we just paused it a few seconds in, but he's measuring the amount of nutrition per calorie. So the idea is he's trying to get the best bang for his buck with the food that he takes in. Okay, fine. Why would he resort down to fucking plants? I mean, this guy's diet is so fucked, even tofu would run the other way.
I mean, in his defense, if you're like, and I know I've said this before, and I'm down. You were controversial in the last video, so I'll be controversial. You can get all of your protein from soy, right? So as far as vegan-based diets go, soy does have complete proteins. Yes, bioavailability is slightly less than animal proteins, fine. But that's why they have to eat a lot of tofu. And I know there's mixed messages of, is there a such thing as too much soy for men and women? And there's some debates going on even in the literature. So who knows what the true science is on that, but you can get protein. But I think he's coming at it from the way I used to come at it from, and I'm sure the way you used to come at it from, because you are trained.
The labels.
Well, labels and volume, like you get more bang for your buck with fiber and plant-based food. So if you're trying to lose weight or maintain weight, eating high volume foods for less calories keeps you fuller longer, gives you the false sense of fullness, I like to say. But I think that's where he's coming at it from, because that is what mainstream teaches. That's what I learned going through my training, is if you're trying to lose weight or maintain weight, you want to eat a high volume of food for less calories. And that's essentially what he's doing. If he's talking from a calorie perspective, eating all those plant foods, he's able to eat a higher volume when you're talking calories for fewer calories. I think that's where he's coming at it from, because that's mainstream.
Yeah, I mean, my take on it so far is that he's got probably less protein on his body than a fucking grass smoothie. So he needs a lot more than tofu to pack on a bit of muscle. He's very deficient, malnourished looking, and underweight, in my opinion.
Yeah, look at his hair.
The ad hormones aren't fun.
Yeah, and look at
his hair does look thin. I mean, I'm bold. I'm not saying I'm the world hair expert by any means, but for a guy putting himself out there and saying, this is the best way to get healthy, this is what I found effective. Well, apparently not. About 4 or 5 years ago, you had a much better head of hair. So tell me your anti-aging profile of your hair, then try and work that one out. Measure the telomeres in your hair or whatever there is to study. You'll be quite surprised, I think. So I understand the effects of aging, but I mean, his hair's gone from like, all right to like thin, patchy.
Yeah.
You can tell he uses hair dyes and patched it in sometimes with like, you can get like a powder, a spray apparently. But yeah, I'm not for it at the moment. I'm definitely not for the fruit smoothies and whatever he's got coming about in this video. Introducing Beef Up Carnivore Bodybuilding Bible. The ultimate guide for men and women to lose fat and build muscle. And the best part, it's only $12. Don't miss out on the most detailed resource available. Get a copy now at compositionconsultant.com.
We measure my body, and I become the most measured person in history, and we see, did it have the effect we thought it would have? And we repeat this again and again and again, version 1 to version 2 to version 3. So what I'm going to share with you today is the latest version of my diet. There's going to be 2 paths you can follow. One is I share everything for free. So you can take what I do and you can replicate it at home. The other path is I've actually built a product at Blueprint that solves for the simplicity and cost. If you want that, great. No pressure. Either way, choose the free version, choose the Blueprint version. I'm happy either way, but I'm going to show you what to do.
That bottle says snake oil. Did you see that?
Yeah, he's got a quite good sense of humor, he does, to be honest. He sort of plays in it, but I think some people, I mean, by the sounds of things, he's trying to be scientific. He's using a scientific approach, Version 1, test it out, add something in, use the intervention, see what results can occur. But largely speaking, it's a bit of a joke because we evolved to be our best selves on a carnivorous style diet. So he's like trying to re-hack something we already know. And he's looking down the wrong paths. He's looking mechanistically at, plant extracts, this little product here, this little phytonutrient here, rather just moving the big pillars. We see everyone in the carnivore space getting massive health benefits. So it does seem very bizarre to me.
I mean, he's overcomplicating things. Like, he has his blueprint, and I haven't downloaded it or whatever, but I've seen videos where he talks about his blueprint. If this is his blueprint, he's overcomplicating things. I have no issue eating fruit smoothies, whatever, that's fine. Every once in a while, I enjoy a fruit smoothie. I eat fruit. No big deal. But the fact that he's eating nothing but fruit, plants, and grains, I think that's where the problem is. Obviously, it's presenting problems. If his hair is thinning, his hair is definitely not as full. And you can tell just by how the bags are his eyes, the makeup can't even cover the effects that this diet's having on him. There's nothing wrong with eating those foods, but you're doing more harm than good, and he's overcomplicating things with powers and potions and all this stuff. Just eat real food. And if you don't want to eat animal foods or red meat or whatever, like fine, but you should eat some sort of fish or some sort of animal foods to make sure you're getting all of the nutrition. Obviously he's not, and it's showing physical effects. His diet is showing physical effects that he's clearly not getting all of his nutrition in by his potions and powders.
At this point, I'm kind of quite speculative and quite maybe cynical, I don't know, but it's almost like he's so full of shit that
literally
he's so full of shit that you think he is on an all fiber diet or something. I don't know.
Holy moly.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That needs a double flush, that one, I think.
Oh wait, sorry.
There we go. We should continue. See what else you got to say.
When I wake up, the first thing I do is drink longevity mix. This is a drink that my team and I put together because I was taking over 100 pills a day. It was a lot. And we endeavored to say, can we reduce the number of pills into some liquid form?
I just got to point out the woke as fuck metal straw here. He's really taking it to the next level. It's not paper, no, definitely not because of the Amazon. Not plastic because of the whales, the dolphins. It's metal. Damn.
I'm telling you, a lot of states here in the U.S. actually we're not allowed to use plastic.
You've outlawed it. Yeah, same. Yeah. We can't get plastic straws here. We get these soggy, watery, papery things, which disintegrate after about 3 sips.
Yeah. But here, so he says that he starts his morning with this. I don't know. I'm frozen on the screen, but I don't know. Hopefully you can still hear me. But this longevity mix, everything your body asks for, blood orange flavor. So it's not even like natural orange flavor or natural oranges, whole oranges with other natural flavors. We all know natural flavors is bullshit. But the best thing to do for longevity, and I've said this in many videos, drink a damn glass of water. When you're waking up, you're dehydrated as heck because you're going 8, 9, 10, 11 hours, however long you're sleeping, without drinking or eating food. So you're not hydrating. So the best thing to start with is not this longevity crap. It's drink a couple glasses of water. And then if you do drink caffeine, wait at least an hour to give your hormones time to settle and then have your caffeine. But longevity mix, the best thing you can do is hydrate. You're going to be mildly dehydrated, and this is not going to help. It's sugar.
Damn, guys, you're getting a lot of value out of this woman here. Bloody hell. Bonus tips. What an excellent apparent shield to the low carb meat and dairy industry. Brilliant. I love it. But one thing just to mention as well is Nicole rightly pointed out about it being flavored. It says blood orange flavor. Yep. Now, if something says something flavor, it just means it has to taste somewhat like the ingredient as aforementioned. If it's flavored with an ED in the end, it means it's actually has to have that product ingredient item within it. So this could be naturally flavored, but not have any blood orange in it. There's no bloody orange in it. No flavor.
Hell.
Bloody hell. What a bloody calamity. Fucking atrocious. This, $16 a day? Fuck off.
This is what we did here. We put all of the good tasting pills in this powder, and we took all the bad tasting pills and we put it into other pills.
Let's play a game, shall we, Nicole? Let's work out what anti-nutrients are in this little
oh my god,
this little cocktail. Let's just name any toxins we can come up with. I'll start you off. Potentially aldehydes, maybe.
I mean, I can do the most obvious. I'll say lectins, because I'm sure there's some sort of nuts or some crap in that, whatever that brown thing is.
That's right, yeah. I think it's a nut and seed topping on top of some kind of cacao butter mousse, I'd imagine. It looks like.
We have oxalates, obviously. in the chocolate and the nuts and the whatever else is in that thing.
Alkaloids.
Okay, sugar. It's the anti-nutrient.
Yeah, for sure. Non-essential nutrient, not beneficial. I'm trying to think here. I'm probably missing some. He's probably got like a curcumin capsule down here somewhere, I imagine, which I imagine would have a lot of oxalate in it. Other things, it looks like some herbal blend. I don't know, but they're going to be oftentimes, unless they're, the extracted chemical compound version of something, i.e. curcumin and how it is to turmeric. They're probably high in some anti-nutrients as well. Wouldn't surprise me. I mean, who thinks it's like possible or reasonable to start eating green tea? I'm sure that's probably in there. I mean, you're going to go to a tree and eat some tea off. Come on.
Well,
it's not a food to be eaten.
What about the oil? So like I don't know why I keep freezing, but what about the oil? I'm assuming that's olive oil and it's probably extra virgin.
Extra virgin.
Oil. I'm assuming.
Yeah. He buys a specialist one, but I don't think he tracks how it's shipped or transported.
That's what I was going to say. It's not very regulated. Like if you get a good quality olive oil, fine.
It better be in your backyard.
Yeah, but most people don't. So who knows what's in that crap? There's extra garbage in those unregulated, unnatural olive oils that most people just pull off the store shelves because it's the cheapest option. You're not going to buy the most expensive option, which is the purest, quote unquote, olive oil you can get. So I'm sure he's getting the good quality, but again, it depends on where you get it and what you're gonna.
He ranks it. In another video, he ranks it number 1 for his health foods. As in, if you're going to incorporate like beef or eggs or fish or spinach, kale, almond, God forbid, he says extra virgin olive oil is the rank number 1.
Interesting.
So I imagine he's probably done an experiment. He's measured a biomarker and he's found a compound in it, which is helpful. Which is like, okay, brilliant. What about the rest of your diet?
Yeah. Interesting.
Small lever. It's like me saying to people, okay, I only want you to consume animal fats if they come from fish. Well, it's not a big enough lever. You're better off just eating majority animal fats from animals in general. It's not, you don't need to isolate these things into, mega omega-3 oil or mega polyunsaturated oil with fucking compound oleuropein in it, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
There's no additional benefit outside of eating just raw food, I think. We'll continue.
It's very simple. It's 1 scoop of powder and stir it up. It's delicious. What? No, I'm just joking. It's actually very good. It tastes like a fruit drink, but without all the bad stuff and a lot of really powerful good stuff. You may be aware that a certain ingredient is good or that you want it in your diet, but you need to make sure that it is a clinically relevant dose, which means you want just the amount that was proven to work in the scientific study. And the second thing is you want to make sure that you are aware of everything included in the formulation. So let's see, who doesn't have a clinically relevant dose and doesn't disclose what's in the product? AG1 comes to mind. Yep.
Very naughty.
AG1's garbage, though.
So with Blueprint, we disclose everything in there, and you're getting a clinically relevant dose for each ingredient. For example, in Longevity Mix, we have vitamin C and magnesium, calcium alpha ketoglutarate, say that 5 times, glycine, ashwagandha. You can be confident that it is the right dosage and everything is disclosed for your peace of mind. With the Longevity Mix, I take 8 pills, which are suitable for all ages and genders. I take a few extra pills, unique to my personal needs, but we built this so that everyone, regardless of gender and age, could consume this safely. Blueprint Essentials have 26 critical nutrients.
Hold on. That's a problem. So when you're talking supplements or nutritional needs in general, you have to take age and gender into account. What Jonathan's requirements are for certain, like magnesium, I think he mentioned magnesium, for instance, is vastly different than what my needs are. 1, I'm smaller. 2, females typically don't need as much as men do, right? Because we don't have the sheer body mass that men have. So, and then as you age, you have malabsorption, you have deficiencies and the lack or diminished ability for the aging population, 65 and above, to be able to properly absorb certain vitamins and minerals. So as you age, malabsorption is a huge thing, and that's part of malnutrition and dehydration with the signaling and all that. So the fact that he's not taken gender and age into account with these pills, I think is a drastic misstep, because what is good for me in my 40s as a 40-something-year-old female is vastly different than Jonathan, 20-something-year-old beefy male, or vastly different than my 70-year-old father. So that is a huge misstep. You can either be taking too much of this clinically dosed thing, depending on your gender and age, or you could be underdosed depending on your gender and age. So I just wanted to point that out, that gender and age is something that should be considered and needs to be considered if you are talking supplements and dosing.
Absolutely. Great points for sure. You mentioned something very crucial here about the scalability of the doses, depending on who you are, your stage, age, gender, stuff like that. The funny thing is, there's more research, guys, that's put into fucking pet food than these bloody capsules. There's literally more research that's gone to pet food. And there's more rationale behind it as well. For example, if you buy any pet food, pretty much it'll say, you know, if you've got a small, I don't know, shiatsu weighing, I don't know, 10 kilos or something like whatever it happens to be. Okay, fine. Your dog should have 300 grams of this food per day. And it'll show you on the packet, and it'll show you how big the scoop is. It'll say if you've got a Labrador, if you've got a Great Dane, and there's scalability to it. Then you'll see the ingredients on there, and it will say ash, moisture, calcium, protein, lipids, things like that. They might have some extra vitamins, minerals in it. But in most cases, it doesn't need to list the vitamins, minerals, because it's so nutrient dense as it is, because they oftentimes put real food in it. Yeah. Especially if you buy the good quality stuff. But you can tell if it's had an HPLC lab assay, which is highlighted by the fact it's got ash, moisture, things like that in it, which would otherwise not be really shown, you can be pretty damn sure it's got what it says on the tin. Yeah. And I find that just incredible. You look at some product like this, sure, great, okay, maybe it's been tested. Well, just to have the first degree of testing, which is like a third-party lab come in, measure it for heavy metals and toxins and things like that, and measure the nutritional values of it. Well, that adds about a third onto the price immediately. And say you get that done for every batch or something like that. Bam, you're looking at a massively expensive product. So I'm not really for these things. And obviously each thing has to be sourced and tested as an individual as well before it even comes into the warehouse to be packed, produced into a product like this. So a lot of stages goes into it, guys. Whereas if you buy a bit of beef down the farm shop lane, you get there and you're like, oh, I like some beef. Okay, well, you got some beef. And let's give you all your body needs, the right doses, the right amounts. You just got to eat enough of it. And it's so much less complicated. Yeah. There's always going to be instances where supplements are useful. Now, I'm writing a script as of current. It's taken me a few hours already. About different supplementation protocols for autistic individuals. I think it's going to be quite a beneficial video. Now, that's a limited instance because these people like myself that are autistic have certain subsets within our mitochondrial spectrum, within our genetic expression, within our genetic makeup as a whole, that impact our absorption, like you said about different things like magnesium, things like that. Do you have the MTHFR gene? Do you have the COMT gene? Do you have a DAO enzyme inhibition or some kind of enzymatic insufficiency? I mean, autistic people have a lot of those things, or mostly those things. And there's many, 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 many other ones as well. There's a magnesium one, a calcium one. There's a gene for everything. In which case, yeah, adding in carnitine at a right dose to someone's diet, if they are deficient in it, will be helpful to them. Right. It might not necessarily mean that they have to keep taking it, though. So this sort of thing is like a hook. Like, you have to keep taking it, otherwise you won't have that 0.64 times rate of aging that Bryan Johnson might have. Yeah. So he's caught people on a hook here, on a line. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, and it's like, I'm curious. I actually want to ask you, and I know we're only like a couple of minutes in, but like there's even in this short video, there's a lot to unpack. So he went from taking 102 pills to now taking however many. I think he said 7 or 9 just for his first meal. Like, what does that do for your liver and kidneys over time, taking that amount of pills? And do you think taking that amount of pills, of course the different pills are going to interact and affect its absorbability and and its effects and all these things, taking this amount of pills are going to have some sort of negative reaction or cancel out another pill or supplement you're taking. I don't know. What do you think the long-term effects of taking this amount of
Pill
pills
popping.
is going to have on your organs?
Well, that's a good question. So let's unpack the actual pill itself. So the pill or capsule, oftentimes, I imagine he's using a vegetarian methyl cellulose capsule. Very hard to break down by the body. Although it is a fiber, we can't digest it, that sort of thing. Some of these fibers are really, really, really tough to break down. And they're made that way, so they're encapsulated. Therefore, they take longer to disperse into the system. The thing is, if you have a rush of too many herbs in your system, it can give you digestive issues, diarrhea, you might vomit, you might be sick. Some of the capsules might perforate in your upper respiratory tract, which means you might be puffing out or breathing out turmeric and all sorts of weird, wonderful herbs. So that's the problem with the pill itself. Now, if you actually dive deeper into the pill, what they do, generally speaking, is they unlock certain mechanisms in the body, turn on or off genes, and they can be symbiotic in that they do benefit each other. So they've got a synergistic kind of effect. But when you're putting, say, 103 supplements or something into 7 to 9 pills in the morning and splitting up throughout the day, perhaps, you're cross-inhibiting a lot of enzymes. So it gets to a point where you start inhibiting so many enzymes that your body doesn't know what to do with it because it can't go down the other pathway to be broken down. So therefore, you've got something lingering in your system, and it might be, okay, great, it's curcumin spiked in your blood by an extra 4,000% by having black pepper piperine with it. Well, okay, great, your body's then got that much more to deal with over that longer expanded period of time. There's been case studies of people with liver toxicity from many of these herbal supplements. And it is quite commonplace. The problem is, because the people that are taking these are health conscious, it's usually ruled down to a genetic issue, rather than the fact that they've been taking magnesium oxide and low-grade quality things of aqueous extracts and compounds in them, which are absolutely anti-nutrients hidden in plain view, in my opinion. So that's how I'd break down the capsule. And I think long-term speaking, yes, he might notice that he's getting some inflammatory markers down here and there. But it's not, when people talk about inflammation, they think, oh, it's just, getting your HSCRP down, your C-reactive protein down. Okay, that's one marker to be used for a summative amount of inflammation in your body, yes. But you don't know if there's one marker in your body where it is turning on more or is not being inhibited because it's not within the design perspectives of that product, which means that could be amplified. So if you've got average genes for, say, metabolic disease, diabetes, things like that, cardiovascular risk, cancers, things like that. Okay, maybe you turn off all the diabetes ones so you reduce the chance of getting it, but maybe that leaves on all of the cancer ones. You don't know. And there's no way to know because we're not that far ahead. So what he's doing is a great intervention. It shows you what you can achieve with different little elements added to the diet over periods of time. But it doesn't serve longitudinally. You don't know if something else is creeping up along the way. And he's doing all these tests in the background to sort of suss out what's going on, all these MRIs and things. And one day he's going to get a rude awakening. Something will happen and he'll have to deconstruct the entire fucking program. That's the problem. Because once he's built up to 103, 109 tablets per day, okay, if he's trying to work out what's caused something, well, then he's only got to deconstruct every fucking thing. Because he wants to still get the benefit from 108 of them. But if one of those 109 things is not great for his body, he won't know. So that's the problem. Too many interventions, too many cooks in the kitchen, and it just doesn't work in that sense. So that's why I'm more of a fan of a vitamin, a mineral, or an amino acid supplement. Some herbal supplements are okay, but generally not. And the ones which are designed alongside your body to be deficiency fillers, things which support your body in a certain way. You don't have to use a supplement at the dose it says either. You can use less or more. So oftentimes I'll use less, and I might even use it for a week or two, then come off it. Even if I'm still getting a benefit, I might just come off it anyway. That way I know I can redo the experiment at another point in time. If I get a flare-up or a symptom pop up again, I can take it again. So I think his approach is wildly dangerous, and it's not something I'd personally advocate for.
100%.
Absolutely. We'll move on to the next bit and see what we've got to say.
Take 3 of these a day. There's a lot of therapies. In the Blueprint stack, there's over 74 individual therapies, all at clinically relevant doses. So it can be a lot for people. So if you need to baby step your way into it, it's preferable. And also, eating with food always helps to lessen GI and other side effects. After consuming longevity mix and the pills, I'll work out for an hour, and then it's time for my favorite breakfast, which is super veggie. This is freshly made with broccoli, cauliflower, black lentils, garlic, ginger, hemp seeds, and 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. Lately, I've added 50 grams of carrots for skin, eye, and heart health. I've also been adding an avocado for healthy fats. And this, finally, is a secret, but I've been sprinkling on top super veggie powder, a product we've been working on for 6 months. We are trying to figure out how to help you get a clinically relevant dose of 300 grams a day of vegetables. This has beets, avocado, carrots, and cauliflower. And we simply take the vegetables, we ground them up.
But that's processed food.
So it's not processed, it's not bad. It's just as good as eating the whole thing. We're in the final stages of approving the formulation, so stay tuned. I hope it comes out soon. Also, many people wonder,
I was expecting a link card to pop up in the corner here. Yeah. Saying, buy my crap.
He said 300 grams of veggies, though. Like I said, I'm going to get hate because I know most of the people on your channel are like hardcore carnivores. I don't care. I eat mostly fruit. I don't eat a whole lot of veggies, but I do eat fruit, and I'm not opposed to veggies every once in a while. But 300 grams though of just that, like that's insane to me.
It's a lot, guys.
And I know dose makes the poison and all that. So I'm wondering because of foods he's eating, like the broccoli, the cauliflower, and all that stuff, do have a lot of oxalates. And again, the dose makes a poison. So I'm sure he's not eating enough for it to have a negative effect. But if you eat a certain amount every day over time, I'm sure that would have some sort of negative impact at some point down the line. So I don't know. Like, I'm on the fence with that. I definitely think 300 grams is kind of insanely high, though.
Well, it's the amount in that epidemiological research, roughly, that supports the idea of 5 per day, something like that. So I believe a serving is 85 grams per day, fruit and veg. So
5 servings.
That's probably where he's coming from. So what I'm imagining is he's probably doing a bit less than that, but covering his bases, so to speak, with the supplement.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too much vegetables, guys. Your stomach's only designed to carry about 400 milliliters at a given time without stretching it. That's the average person. So I'm thinking, well, if 300 grams of your meal, or say, even more, say 400 grams of your meal was vegetables, you got no space left to really do much. So the moment you do add meat back into your diet, meat's giving me stomachache. Well, no, it's actually the 100 grams of extra food you put in your gut, basically.
Well, that, and you're decreasing the amount of said protein and fat you otherwise would be absorbing from those foods too, because you're excreting that along with the fiber. You're excreting a good portion of that with the fiber when you're farting or pooping it out.
Yeah, it's just nuts, isn't it? I think this guy's food pyramid is absolutely fucked. Absolutely royally fucked.
It matches the dietary recommendations, though. Like, it's very grain heavy. Like, the base is grains on the base now.
Yeah. We'll move on.
Are powders okay? Are powders competitive with real foods? Yes, the foods we have are real foods ground up into powdered foods. We think it's going to be just
I've got a problem here of what he's defining as food. Because food should be nourishing and sustain you. If it's not nourishing and sustaining him, then or it is, then why is he consuming 100 plus tablets per day?
And why do you need, what's the purpose of the powders? I understand it to supplement, and if you're in a pinch, like sometimes I don't have protein powders all that much anymore, but I have had it. If I'm in a pinch and have to like rush, I'll just drink whatever. But you're also dehydrating it. So if you think of what you're doing to the food, so that's why you have to mix it with liquid, because you're taking all the hydration out of the food. So like I don't think that's food, because if you can't just take a scoop and just eat it, then how is that food?
Well, the other thing to note is he's concentrating the level of deuterium in his food. So whenever you process something, guys, in any instance, it will increase the amount of deuterium in terms of parts per million of that food. So say his, at best, is his veggie bowl or fruit bowl, whatever it's called, super veggie, had 155, 160 parts per million deuterium. Well, now it's going to have like 200 or more. So that's not helpful to the body. The body doesn't want to be taking more than what it needs. I mean, the ancestrally speaking, imagine we'd have probably a deuterium level somewhere around about 120. You have more going through a system that's more, how to put it in simple terms, a bigger mass going through mitochondria to serve the complex systems to feed out ATP. You're trying to put too much through one small system that's not designed that way. We're not herbivorous animals, so I don't know.
as good as whole foods. With every meal, I have 1 tablespoon or 15 ml of extra virgin olive oil that meet our 6 criteria on high-grade premium extra virgin olive oil. If it doesn't meet the criteria, it's not going to do in the body what you hope it to do. At 11 a.m., I'll have nutty pudding, including the berry and nut mix. It has 26 grams of protein, plus cocoa, pomegranate, grapeseed extract, omega. I'll also add 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. I like it stirred in. So you can go to my website and you can get everything for free and manage this at home. You could also choose to buy the Blueprint Stack. We've tried to make it not only the best in the world, but also cost competitive with the grocery store. So if you're going to do that, it's 400 calories. Just simply remove 400 calories from your current diet, replace it with the stack, and see what magic happens.
Okay, so reduce food, increase non-food.
Yeah, that's
great fucking advice. Great fucking advice.
But it's, hold on, it's 1, 2, 3. I think it was like, I don't know how many pills it was in the stack, like 5, I don't know. So 5 plus the olive oil plus those 2 things and the powders. So you want to replace a serving of chicken, right? It's about 300 to 400 calories for a chicken breast. So we'll say chicken breast. So
that's a big chicken breast.
Take a chicken breast out, right? And replace it with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 items. So take 1 item and replace it by 10 items. That's insane.
So people that are doing this are probably trying to lose weight as well. Often cases, a lot of people do try to lose weight and they start any kind of diet. So you're actually going to take out nourishment and food and volume. You're probably already eating 1,000 calories, guys, calories. And you're going to put in less food. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Why'd you do that? People are going to do this and think, I'm going to be more nourished, but yeah. I don't feel energetic. I'm eating 500 calories per day. Well, if I swap this out and still have 25 grams of protein per day, that covers my bases. I'm going to be leaner and fitter and healthier. No, that's almost like how it's coming across, because people are that stupid.
Mm-hmm. People are so,
God.
Are so desperate. Like, I was scrolling on Facebook, and this isn't, I know this is a little like off course tangent, but it goes back to this. So like someone on Facebook asked how what do you think of Ozempic for weight loss? I don't chime in on those posts on Facebook anymore because it's a dumpster fire, but that's the desperation of people, because if you actually want to lose weight, the people who say it's not hard are full of shit. For most people, it is freaking hard because you have all these temptations now, right? It's not as easy as just eat meat, your cravings are gone. That's not the case, right? For most people. So most people don't want to put in the work. We become lazy with all these quick fixes. And I feel like they see this new gimmick and they fall for it and they do it because it's less work. They want that magic button, that magic pill, that magic fix that takes their work and effort out of the game. And I feel like they're going to look at this blueprint and say, cool, I just take these powders, potions, snake oil, pills, and all this stuff, and I'm going to look like him. And that's what they're going to think. And they're going to buy this stuff with that thought process in mind. Whereas all they have to do is just manage your diet and move your body. And again, I know it's not as easy as that, but it requires work. Do it the right way, the healthy way, and to have it sustain. It requires work, and it's going to be hard as hell for most people. But most people don't want to do that work. And that's the problem. That's the problem with this Ozempic crap and now this blueprint crap. Like, people are jumping on that bandwagon because it's less work.
Yeah, for sure. I have to do a video on Ozempic, I think. I've got contrasting thoughts to most people, but I can rationalize it, I guess. Anyway, to summarize, that video was a bit of a waste of time. He showed no food. He showed no signs of vitamin and mineral sufficiency. He was as dead as a fucking rat. And I think that diet would actually serve as much purpose as an ashtray on a motorbike, which is not much at all.
It's a lot of ingredients too. Like, he's vegan, right? He's vegan. It's so many ingredients. I was vegan for 4 years, maybe a little bit more. It's so many ingredients. And like all those meals he showed, it was at least 5+ ingredients in all of that. Like, it's just so much work to put together all of those meals. And I believe he eats 6 times a day too, 5 or 6 times a day, I think.
Yeah, I think it's about that much. I think 4, maybe like 3 meals and 2 snacks, something like that.
Like that, yeah.
But yeah, we'll wrap it up there anyway. So thank you very much for watching, everyone that has stopped by to watch. Hopefully you enjoyed our little ramble today. Hopefully it wasn't too naughty. A little bit spicy, but not the worst. Hopefully I can up my game a bit for next time. These will be regular collaborations with Nicole at Form Fat Girl. Probably every 3 or 4 weeks. Keep your eyes peeled for them. If you enjoy this video, please leave a comment below. What was the most humorous or fun or most exciting part for you to watch? Leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already to myself and Nicole at Form Fat Girl, and we'll see you guys soon.
See ya.
Cheers. I just want to make a quick recording about something so I can put it in the video at the end when I mix it up. Hold on.
What's that?
I just want to record something a sec while it's still going. Hold on. Need to think what to say. So if you want to spend your money on something much more fucking sensible than that pile of shit, I'm going to get you to sort of tease your eyes over towards this, and this is really going to be much more beneficial for your time. Now, I've had a lot of people respond back to me about this, and they said it's been fucking game-changing, so do not miss out now. It is currently on offer. Introducing Beef Up Carnivore Bodybuilding Bible. The ultimate guide for men and women to lose fat and build muscle. And the best part, it's only $12. Don't miss out on the most detailed resource available. Get your copy now at compositionconsultant.com. Build muscle and lose fat on the carnivore diet.